Did you know that Janthir Wilds made it easier than ever to unlock every elite specialization, especially for new players? Previously, you'd need to spend days playing through expansions and earning mastery points, wait for a hero point train to start up possibly and follow the leader, or spend hours and hours in world versus world or structured PvP. But now, all you need is a Springer, a Raptor, and a Glider, all of which you can easily get by hopping into Janthir Wilds. But while you do still need to own Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire, and End of Dragons to be able to access the maps and use the elite specializations, you don't need to spend any time in them before doing this. I recently figured this out when ED Goes Pro left a comment on my Elementalist for a Month video, asking if I have a guide on which hero points to do that are the easiest to cap all the elite specs. I didn't, but I thought it was a great idea, so I started doing some research, which led me to doing my least favorite academic activity, math. But hey, I figured out that this was possible, so I guess math isn't always bad. But not only did I create my longest guide ever in the process, fully walking through this entire path that I made, but I've also created my first text-based walkthrough guide, complete with waypoint and point of interest linking for reference points to help you, as well as maps I created with routes on them for at-a-glance use. But that still wasn't good enough for me because a few of these hero points were very difficult to figure out how to get to without high jump or some other masteries, and I had to find very tricky paths to do so that are best shown in video. A few of them I didn't even find written on the Wikipedia or anywhere else that I could find, so those will have links to those spots in the video in the Notion guide as well. But I am going to say, for full disclosure before we get started, I do not have an account to test this route with that does not have high jump and other masteries unlocked. But I did a very thorough job of testing as accurately as I can myself. I forced myself to use less than half of the Springer jump bar anytime I was using it to prove a route. If there is an issue with any of these hero points being able to be acquired without a mastery, then I will update the written guide and make or edit a pinned comment in this video description with said corrections or possible issues. I just don't have the money right now to justify buying all the expansions on another account just for this. The channel's been doing really well, but not really $85 for a single video, well, yet. The other thing is that I do have a few extra hero points at the end of the guide that you don't need but are able to be gotten without any masteries in Tangled Depths. It's just one of the least friendly places to get them. So those are available in the guide and near the end of the video. So even if there are a few that you can't get because of some high jump or gliding issues, I've still got you covered. There is a link in the description that will take you to my Ko-fi page where it is available for download for free, but if you feel like donating a few bucks to help support my adventures here, I'll cheers to that. Okay, but what can you expect out of this if you haven't done this much, if ever, as a new player? Well, easy is very subjective, but since Janthir Wilds is a very new player-friendly expansion, I wanted to focus on making it easy in the sense of not requiring tons of prep time to unlock masteries, but I also wanted to make sure that it wasn't overly difficult to play it through. So I took a Necromancer with a core build to start with, and not even full exotic gear, and ran through my own route with it, which took quite a while, but then I wanted to see how long it would take you roughly when using my guide. So after creating it, I then played through it with a second time on a fresh Ranger, finishing the entire route in around 2 hours and 20 minutes. This route assumes you have reached level 80, but have not earned any hero points in Central Tyria or otherwise, just the ones you get from leveling 1 to 80. The route as prescribed starts with teleporting to End of Dragons Arborstone in Cantha to move north to New Kaineng and Seitung Province, then back down to Echovald Wilds and Dragon's End. That'll net you 260 hero points in roughly 63 minutes, enough for one full elite spec and then some. This clocked in as my most efficient segment in my test, which is why it's first. The reason I chose Arborstone was it should be a fairly easy place to use a teleport to friend to get into, or if you've at least played through enough End of Dragons to get that teleport scroll unlocked. But Crystal Desert is no slouch either, starting from Amnoon in Crystal Oasis up to the Desert Highlands, then working back down through Elon Riverlands, the Desolation, and the Domain of Vabbi. This earns you another 280 hero points in about 72 minutes during my test. There's often the Pinata event going on that would let you teleport into Amnoon, or if you need to start the Path of Fire storyline, it's the first place you're really going to end up after the first intro. But last and certainly not the least, we travel to Heart of Thorns and tackle Verdant Brink, Auric Basin, and Tangled Depths for the last 210 hero points as needed. This one also taking about 65 minutes, making it the least efficient in my test. You can just walk straight into Heart of Thorns though, which is very nice. But let's break this down and get these unlocked for you. Now, we assume an Arborstone start, either via a teleport scroll or a teleport to friend. You'll be able to leave, but not re-enter it without getting this waypoint in here. You're going to leave Harborstone to the north and then head left, jump across the gap, and get the hero point. It is guarded by an elite. Head across the water to the north, make your way through the streets going towards but past the Su Wan's protection point of interest and get down to the Ritualist hero point over on the far east of this area. After the Ritualist, go west towards Lutgardus Plaza waypoint and go north between the two clusters of buildings, wind your way up the stairs, grab the hero point, and then drop down. After you drop down, head as west as possible towards the next hero point, which is a tiny jump up some scaffolding. Head for the quick pivot to the Ministry waypoint on the ground floor center if you don't have it, otherwise teleport there now. After this, head across the water towards the right side of the waterfall, heading up the stairs. On your way up the stairs, you'll stop for one hero point. Then, immediately head further up the stairs to hit the hero point on top of the water bridge. From there, you're going to jump down to the ground floor outside of the city itself and get the Promenade waypoint, and then continue south towards the Shipwreck Graveyard point of interest. Once there, Springer your way up until you reach the zipline. Go towards the rocks to the left and carefully Springer up them, eventually coming to a large ledge with a bush with nowhere else to go. You should be able to glide across to the other side from here. Then Springer your way up to the hero point as normal. Once you commune with that, waypoint back to the Promenade waypoint and head southwest to the Seitung Province zone portal. You're going to come out right near the Haiju Docks waypoint. Grab it and then head south and hang a left over this wooden bridge, heading up the path and then fighting the Kirin for a hero point here. Then head back across that same bridge, this time hanging a left to continue up the hill, and walk around following the paths to the north to swing around to the Fish Hatchery point of interest. Swim down to the center of it to use the Commune hero point and then resurface. Once you've resurfaced, head back up the hill you came down, this time turning to your right instead of the left, heading over the bridge and through this cluster of buildings, and then jumping off of the cliff to glide safely down into the water below. Clear out the area around this hero point here, and then commune with it. After that, waypoint back to Haiju Docks and head back up the same path, this time going into the walled-off Daigo Ward. Make your way up past the waypoint Daigo Ward and into the water just south of the Jade Memorial point of interest. Head to the western section of this cliff face and Springer your way carefully up the rock faces onto a small spike of terrain eventually, and finally up to the hero point. Commune with it and enjoy the view. Then you'll launch yourself south down the cliff towards the village waypoint. Once there, head southwest up the path towards the fishing village point of interest, and then Springer onto the building at the end of the path with the crane attached to it. Walk onto the crane, glide over to the tree on an island in the middle of the bay, and you'll have another hero point. Now, Teleport back to the village waypoint, this time heading through the harbor market point of interest just next to it and taking the left path to head north and eventually west into the Xingjie Monastery area. After passing through the gate at the Imperial Overlook point of interest, take the north path up and around to this hero point on a small, easily springered rock. From that hero point, head south through the monastery to grab the waypoint, or just immediately south if you already have it or don't want it, your ultimate destination being the training grounds to defeat a creepy jade bot for your 7th hero point here in Seitung. Waypoint back to the village waypoint once again, back through the harbor market, this time heading east, snaking your way through the paths around Zhendaijun. Once you reach the final crossroad before the bridge, you'll hang a right and head up the path filled with ritualists, clear the area of them and the elite ritualist right by the hero challenge, and then commune with it. Then jump down and north across the bridge, following the path east and hanging a right to head south, heading up a small path before you get to the fishing hamlet point of interest. To get over to the hero point, springer up there, clear the platform, and commune with it. Now, teleporting back to Arborstone, you're going to leave Arborstone and go north, then northeast through the graveyard to clear out the commune hero point near the Memorial Zuhelzer waypoint. You'll have to fight at least one elite here. It's pretty common for some things to get pulled this direction though. After this, follow the path straight south out of the graveyard before taking a hook east to the Jade Junkyard. Continue through it past the Dump Site 2 point of interest, and after you pass under the giant tree root overhead, take the road left and follow that until right where the road forks, instead going further left off the path, and then follow the giant root over the road, and then over to the hero challenge. After this, drop back down and head south towards the Krobo waypoint to the southwest. Follow the road west, and before it turns north toward a crossroad, continue hugging the wall to the left as it wraps around the mountain, going across tree roots and branches as you springer your way up small elevation changes to come out above the heart onto stone ledges and stained glass. Carefully springer up these, drop down to the other side, and nab your hero point. Either waypoint over to the Kropa waypoint again, or jump down into the speaker's camp and they'll just throw you outside like garbage. Make your way through the winding pathways east, pass through the Temple of the Dredge, skirting a bit more northeast, and eventually out to Lake Lutgardis. Swim over to the Lutgardis ruins point of interest on the top of the map text, and from there, head into a cavern straight west. At the end of the cavern, there's a hidden underwater pathway that will take you to your next commune point. After this, head all the way east through Lake Lutgardis, paddling your way to Mori Village. Head up the village ramps and platforms in a counterclockwise manner, and eventually, you'll see the hero point just a bit above you. You can either jump your way up the narrow scaffolding around the hero point with your springer, or go up the rooftops across the hero point and glide across. Either way, you'll commune with this one without a fight. From here, move north out of Mori Village, looping around the mountain, passing through Karstadt Village, past the Jade Gate waypoint, and into Dragon's End. Your first hero point here is straight to the east near the residential district point of interest. However, from the very entrance of the map, you're going to hop up some rocks and buildings to get onto a cliff face with your springer. Continue along the side of the map and jump glide down to the commune point. From there, head south down to the mining camp levels below, looping around to the Archipelagos Rim, past the text for it on the map to get to your next hero point on a cliff with a little waterfall. Very easy to jump through. From here, you can either drop down into the water and swim your way over to the southeast to the mine site JS36 point of interest, or run east and head down the land along the eastern edge of the map. Either way, once in that area, you'll head along the bridge to the south, heading up and straight west until you reach the edge of the jade overlooking the Miner's Folly point of interest. Jump off of the ledge, glide over to it, and nab that hero point. Next, head back up the platforms you came from and head south to the Seafarer's Enclave and grab that hero challenge, an easy commune. This will be your last 10 hero points to fully unlock an elite specialization if you've been following exactly along and started with 0 free hero points. From here, go west towards the Harvest Temple and then head to the hero point to the southeast. This is the only one guarded by an elite in Dragon's End. Now for Crystal Desert. We're going to start from Amnoon, as it's typically very easy to get here. Either the storyline will take you here very quickly, or most of the time there's a pinata event that you can jump into at some point to get here with a teleport to friend. So, starting from Amnoon, head out the south gate and then to the southern hero point. Waypoint back up to Amnoon and head north down into the dig site. Springer or Raptor over the gap up the ledge and under the pyramid. Fight this hero point and then move on. Head straight east out of the dig site, staying on the high ground and heading south to the hero point in the Sefuri Sand Sea. After this, you'll head slightly northeast to a rocky platform, jump over the gap between two rock formations to get to the hero point at the Altar of Silence's point of interest. From there, head up the winding path and then back down to pick up the Temple of Cormyr waypoint if you do not have it yet. Then head straight east from the village of Hewley point of interest, going up the small hill with purple crystals before turning northeast to the Tetrahedron point of interest in the Maculate Fringe. Jump all the way up the lightning striking rocks to eventually come up to the hero challenge, commune with it, and then waypoint back over to the Temple of Cormyr. Head north through Diviner's Passage to pass through the gateway up to the Desert Highlands. Starting from the Macaulay Outpost waypoint, head northwest towards the Salt Flats where the Cavalier Express Parcel Run adventure is on the map. Raptor your way across the gaps, eventually coming up to the top level to get the hero point in the northwest section of the platform. The veteran summoned can launch, so be careful. Head down and straight north, winding up the sand ramps ahead of you, eventually coming out near the Ogre Camp, near Lommeld Crawl waypoint. Take care of the quick hero point here as you come in. Next, head north past the camp towards the Lifeblood Falls, sticking along the cliffside, and you'll need to springer up a small ledge on some rocks to get there. Waypoint back to Macaulay Outpost once you commune with it. From Macaulay Outpost, this time head northeast towards the Forged Gate you can see as you're leaving the outpost. Springer over this and then head into the Prophet's Fall region of the map. Right as you come into the larger crater area, hug the wall to your right, and you can just Raptor run and jump across the slope to the hero challenge. Leap down heading north, and Springer your way up the section right by the vista here. Continue to head as straight north as you can before springering your way up to the platform with the hero challenge north of the Cragip Crawl point of interest. This guy has an obnoxious knockback, so either watch out for the double fist leap and ground pound, stack stability, or just back yourself up against the platform and hope for the best. From here, drop down and head northeast and begin to Springer your way up onto the large brand shard that was directly east of that hero point you just finished. Once you reach a tall point in it, glider over to the one to the north of it that has a jackal portal at the top of it. Springer your way up and past that jackal portal, drop down, and Springer back up to your last hero challenge here in the Highlands. After Desert Highlands, either waypoint to the Temple of Cormyr waypoint in Crystal Oasis and go south, or waypoint to the Augury's Shadow waypoint to start Elon Riverlands. From the entry to the map, there is an elevated piece of ground across a brand scar. As it turns east, jump across it over to a section of ground that has a forgotten pillar on it. Springer up and head south on the path before heading into the cave opening in the wall on your left. Jump across with your Raptor, nab the hero point, and then go out the way you came. As you exit the cave area, head south, looping around back northeast following the cliff walls more or less. Jump across the brand scars to get to the next hero challenge, clear the area, commune, and then waypoint back to the camp. From there, head southwest to the Alishar's Oasis camp waypoint, then west to get past the quagmire, and then immediately north to the hero point. From there, head across the rocks to the west, then southwest to drop down into the Skimmer Ranch to grab the waypoint, and then run back up the same way, and then head straight north to the giant hero point in the middle of the desert, south of the text Prophet's Path on the map. Then, head northwest to Deadlock Sweep to fight some lions for a hero point, before waypointing south to the Skimmer Ranch. Head southeast, not crossing any quicksand surrounding the ranch, and look out for a lower piece of terrain between two large rock spires, just northwest of the hero point. Springer up the rock, then glide down to the hero point. From there, make your way all the way to the southwestmost corner of the map, where it's almost not even going to fully reveal itself. Look for a mostly submerged tree, hop onto the branch that is flat with the water, and springer your way up onto the raised ground and into the center to get the hero point. Waypointing back to the Alishar's Oasis camp waypoint, go southeast past the Lonely Vigil point of interest to the far east side of it on the other side of the mountain. Springer up the rocks, Raptor across the bridge, and grab your last hero point here before going to the Desolation. Starting from the first waypoint here, go southwest past the garrison and Bone Cage paddock into the Sulphur Quarry. Head essentially west between Acrid Springs and Sulphur Quarry text on the map, on the very ground level of the area. You'll find a hero point down here, kill a couple of enemies, and take it. Waypoint back, following the road south and wrapping west around Palawa Cut. Follow the road south to the Scourgeway waypoint. From here, glide down over to a small ledge in the sulfuric acid pits, and then Raptor as far and as fast as you can forward to the ledges under the hero point. Once there, you can springer your way up carefully, defeat the veteran hero point, and move on. Waypoint back to the Scourgeway, and then continue south. Once you pass Shadow's Intel Adventure, head straight east, cross a broken bridge, and then head northeast to the Lair of the Forgotten waypoint. From here, continue northeast a ways, climbing up the rock with your Springer, gliding towards the Vista area, and then pass through everything to find a cave entrance to take you back to the hero point. After this, go back the way you came until you get to the bridge, this time going south past the Fort Huda point of interest. Follow this road all the way past the Joko's Domain waypoint. Cross the gap and head into Joko's Domain Fortress, heading up the stairs on the west side of the first main courtyard, and then going into the inner courtyard on the very top floor to get the hero point. Go back to the Joko's Domain waypoint, heading north through the pass until you go past the fort, immediately going west and following that road all the way into the Ruptured Heart. Go north a little bit as you come into the heart, over a small bridge, and there will be an entrance to the center. Clear the area, commune with the hero point. As a heads up, this area is pretty tedious and a little dangerous depending on your skill level and gear. A lot of enemies like to follow you around and interrupt you. Rather than going back out the road you came in on, go towards the southwest open gate out of this central area and go up the ramp to the south of this area, up some more ramps until you come up to a broken bridge. Raptor jump across and continue south to the dead tree with the hero point. After that, you'll need to head to the Domain of Vabbi. To get there, you'll want to waypoint back to Joko's Domain waypoint and head north. Then take your first right at the crossroads to path southwest, to pass southeast, following the road through the basaltic fringe and into the Domain of Vabbi. Starting from the Cragged Vale, head south to the necropolis, up all of the stairs, and then fight the 5 family members here for a hero point. From there, head east into the Vitendi Arena, all the way to the bottom, and defeat the 3 enemies for the hero point. Go back up and out, heading north towards the Domain of Vabbi text, following the road before turning northeast. Either that or waypoint back towards the entrance and follow that same path. Keep heading northeast until you make it to the edge of the brand scar. You're going to need to be quick here. Head directly east as possible past the Vabbian Griffin Master on the map and pause to heal up your Raptor in the next bubble. From there, go directly east, aiming for the next bubble. Finally, head northeast, making your way across the water and into the final bubble at the hero point. Defeat the corrupted pet, claim your final hero point here, and get ready for Heart of Thorns. We're going to start in Verdant Brink. Now, if you don't have the waypoint in Verdant Brink unlocked at the entrance to the map, you can actually just walk through the Silver Wastes to get there. You don't need to do any of the introductory quests for it at all. Now, from here, you're going to head southwest from the waypoint to the Shrouded Ruins. As you enter the path, head up the ramp on your left, wrapping around and heading up the ruined stairs that will be to your left after following the path for a while. Hero point will be on a ledge through a small opening. From there, head back out the way you came and jump off of the cliff straight north. You can Raptor jump safely and land all the way at the very bottom of the jungle floor. Only your Raptor will die. Clear out the hero point here, claim your prize, and then waypoint back to Shipwreck Peak waypoint. From here, you're going to head north and then west from Maguma's Breach, headed towards the Brooding Gulch point of interest. Once there, use your Springer to help jump up the rock face path to the hero point. After that, drop back down heading west, then immediately south and west again. Heading upwards, getting yourself the Pact Encampment waypoint unlocked. Then, go back towards the Brooding Gulch point of interest the same way you just came, but this time drop off of the stone bridge straight down towards the hero point on the ledge. Waypoint back up to the encampment, then head out the western path to get across some bridges, moving towards the Malagan's Valor waypoint. Move up the winding path to get to the top. Once you pass the waypoint, either head straight through the small opening in the wreckage to climb the route heading northwest, or head around it to the north and Springer up a smaller route that also gets you on the same path. Follow this path to the south of the platform and drop straight down, keeping an eye out for a platform with the hero challenge on it that has some fallen pillars. Then waypoint back up to the encampment. From there, drop down and head south and then immediately west. Once near the hero point on the map, jump down and fall quite a ways until you see a platform when looking to the northeast again has several pillars and a hero point. Claim it and then waypoint back once more. Waypointing back to the Pact encampment one more time, head back that same way you just went, this time staying on the path heading west, wrapping around the bridges to get to the Farron's Flyer waypoint in the Noble Ledges. Continue upwards past it, and once you reach the apex of the climb, jump off to the southeast to land on the giant route stretching to some airship wreckage, more or less, straight east of the waypoint. Follow the routes over to that and claim your next hero point. From that wreckage, jump out to the northwest, heading for the hero point in that direction. You're going to fall very far down, looking for an opening as you fall into a large tree. There will be a hero point on a tiny platform past some very painful brambles. Land on the small platform, grab that hero point, and then waypoint back to Farron's Flyer once more. Once you're back at Farron's Flyer, wind your way back up again this time, jumping over the massive root vine to the northwest, heading towards that hero point. Once you've gone as far as you can, glider over to the hero point and get ready for a scrap. The champion robot here is no slouch. You're going to want to make sure you take down Helotrons as soon as they spawn in. While fighting the big guy, I found it best to keep rotating right while in melee range, as you'll automatically sidestep any of his grapple fist moves. You can use your dodges to evade his normal punches to keep his DPS down, and make sure you stay away from him anytime he starts his spin attacks. These spin attacks will do a lot of damage, but he only moves in one direction, and there's a considerable windup, so it's not overly difficult to dodge it. From the golem, jump south off the ledge, gliding over to the hero challenge down below. This one is a champion frog as well and can be pretty tough, so you may want to just preemptively ask for some help in map chat as you're headed over there, as you will likely need it unless you're very skilled with a good build. After this, go grab the waypoint nearby and head south into Auric Basin. From the Wanderer's Waypoint, head south and drop down to ground level to activate the young mushrooms on the ground, which will summon a champion Mushroom King. Defeat it to earn the hero points. You may need some help with this one. From there, follow the path south and drop down the cave opening to reach the Toxin Cured Hero Challenge. You're going to want a food item like mango pie that restores health every tick. Simply pop into the Obsidian Sanctum, buy it on the trading post, and use the Exit World versus World button on the panel to go right back. Pick it up and eat the hog, and you'll start taking damage. If you use the heal skill and keep it held down for the duration after the 5th damage pulse on top of your mango pie, you will easily clear this hero challenge. From there, journey back up to the ground level and head east past Northwatch Waypoint. Then, southeast to the suspicious Orichalcum, which will summon another champion, this time an arrowhead. You may need some help, but you can take it down to claim your hero point here. After that, head east and then north up the Maguma Shallows River area. Journey up the slope towards this gap in the pathway. Once you reach the ley line spot, turn around towards the tree and begin jumping up the roots on your right when looking at it. Once you reach the large, flatter spot a ways up, you can jump and glide across the gap. Once you go through the opening, immediately go to your right and jump up the roots going across the doorway. Raptor over to the rocks, grab the vista, and Springer up the rocks to go over to the hero challenge. From there, go back to Northwatch Waypoint, and then go into the city of Tarir just to the south of the waypoint. As soon as you go into the doorway, take the stairs first to your left, your target being to jump and glide down towards the hero point a little to your southeast as you come in. You can just drop down to this little ledge a little bit further down and be able to Springer back up the small tower with the hero point afterwards if you need to. From there, jump down into the center of the city to go near the central waypoint, and then drop down below and follow the path to get your next hero point by fighting yet another champion. Now, waypoint back over to Northwatch Waypoint and loop around east to unlock the Eastwatch Waypoint. Jump up the mushrooms on the cliff face to the north and make your way to the hero challenge, which will summon Champion Commander Razorwing and some veteran allies. Be extra careful here, as the whole area is coated in veterans and he does move around quite a lot. Next, journey south and go past the Exalted Pylon to the south, heading through a cave. Continue south, and eventually Springer up a small cliff to get onto a ledge, head into a cavern, and fight a champion Vine Wraith to claim your next hero point. Go back out the cave and jump west before following the winding path south toward the Chalk Hollow Waypoint, and continue south past it. Springer up a cliff next to a bouncing mushroom to the east of the hero challenge, and follow the path into a small cave with the egg clutch to fight the Chalk Lobber and claim another hero point. Next, waypoint back to Northwatch and follow the path to Westwatch Waypoint, and continue following that path south until you reach a point where there is a large tree that goes over the pathway on the map. Use your Springer to get up there and on top of the tree to get to the small path on an elevated platform to the west. Head Head south to the hero point, and then you're done. Waypoint to the Chalk Hollow waypoint again, and then journey into the Tangled Depths. From the first waypoint, you're going to go south, dropping down and following the winding pathways as much as possible, eventually going north at a small fork on the map before turning right back around and heading downwards in the same general direction, and then going into a narrow tunnel to fight this champion troll for a hero point. Congratulations, if you were able to fully follow along, then you now have enough hero points for all of your elite specializations. If there were any issues with the trickier ones not being possible without high jump or something like that, and you need more hero points, you can continue on in Tangled Depths. I have 5 more for you. Waypointing back to the base camp, and then follow the road that goes east and then north all the way towards Teku Nuhawk before you take a split at a 3-way fork right as you come out of some caves, going straight north, and then wrap left around into a small canyon to fight a champion frog and claim another hero point. This one can be pretty tough, especially with all of the respawns in here, so you may want some help. Go down into the tree to get to Teku Nuhawk waypoint, and then go to the very top of the tree by passing outside, and then find and glide to the southeast to a wide open platform with a bunch of mushrooms. Spring her over the rocks and drop down into the maze, heading south towards the hero point. Make sure you bring plenty of stability and then clear out the area and claim your hero point. Waypoint back to Teku Nuhawk, and then take the path upwards and south, heading down and towards the Ley Line Confluence waypoint. Once you're there, head west into the Ogre Lane. Take down the chalk at the hero point at the end of the tunnel, and then you can continue west into Dragon's Passage. I will say this one has a reflect bubble that is almost constantly up, so make sure you bring at least 1 melee weapon. There's also a lot of spawns around here, so it can be pretty tough to solo. As you head west into Dragon's Passage, head up the path to the west and then north, springing up as much as possible. Make a pit stop to fight the champion on a small isolated platform here. This can be pretty easy depending on who you get. If you get a big guy with a hammer, you're just going to need to run in circles and bring some good crowd control. Or if you get unlucky like I did in this recording and get the sniper, you're in for a doozy of a fight. You're probably going to need some help. That's all the hero points I have for this route, but you're going to need gold if you want to gear out your different elite specializations, so click this video here where I break down how to make as much gold with as little time as possible.